Road Warrior here. I'm back with two new. Hold on one second here. I'm going to be entering into the Fly Like a Butterfly Bass Tournament, Swim Like a Bass here on Fishing Planet. Again, the rules and rewards as follows. Details, obviously, you're going for the butterfly peacock bass. The rewards, again, are not stupendous, but they are worth if you need a float. X Series crankbait would be nice. Always good to have an extra one of those. Again, the bullet spinner, if you didn't have that. Again, only the top three will pay. Again, the information is you can only use float tackle. Again, like most of these tournaments, in other words, just one rod in your hand. Rod stand usage during the tournament is prohibitive. It's a max total tournament, so it's going to go by pounds and how many you can catch. I want to say the scores can get as high as 130, 160, somewhere in there, believe it or not, in only a 30-minute allotment. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you my marks. Actually, let me go through the setups first. I'm going to be using a Phoenix rod. I'm going to put 25-pound fluoro on it. I am using a spod reel just to reel them in quicker. I just won't max drag it. So this is the Griffin spod with the 3.0 and freshwater prawn. My second setup will be the Brutus with the X Series fluoro. I think you guys can just pick that up in a mission, and that's not anything I've won. With the bigger Griffin spod, again, I'm not going to max that out. Just looking to pull that fish in quicker. I'm going to have a 4.0 on one. I don't think it matters if it's X Series, but I have them. Might as well use them. And a 3.0. We'll be fishing at 23 or no, 27 inches is normally what I will fish with. And again, 27 inches. Just a lucky number for me. I'm assuming you could probably go as low as 15 and as deep as 40. So that's kind of up to you. There's several marks again over here on this spawn point. I really don't think that it matters where you're casting really. But here's all the marks that I will be using. This one doesn't have a unique mark there, but I've caught the unique so many times here. That's kind of a really good hot spot, as well as another spot there. And then at the infinity tunnels, hold on, I want to make sure that I did register for this thing. No, I didn't register for that one when I wanted to. Yes, I registered. Okay, it starts in 26 minutes, and then again at the infinity tunnels, I've got two spots there that I will. Hello, Josh. There's two spots here that I will be using when the other spots slow down. So here and here. Okay, let's go ahead and enter this as soon as it loads up and we'll be ready to go. This again, probably the fourth or the fifth time I've been in this, so I'm somewhat of a veteran, but I know how quick these guys can get ahead of you. Again, I'm just posting these up to kind of help you guys out with marks and basic strategies. You guys kind of do your own thing from there. I'm gonna start at the floating thickets as soon as I join. Always remember to join. Don't hit finish by mistake either. I've done that. Now there is a little difference in peaks on these things, guys. On the sunny peak, majority of the time you will get the unique. The partly cloudy, sometimes you will not get the unique. So again, I am going to be using, this is a Phoenix and a Brutus with spod rails on them. 4 clicks for this one, 3 clicks for the other. If you do get slow, again, you can rotate around marker buoys. What I don't know, what I haven't figured out is how many do they catch per spot. And I'm going to try to attempt to be doing the quick set method as well. Hopefully I get good bites. Again, on some of these things, you guys will notice, since I'm live streaming, if I get an absolute 0 bite rate, I haven't had that happen yet on here, but I haven't streamed this one yet. So again, I'm just going to lift that rod up and then the reel. One key note on these spod reels too, keep that rod tip down. Don't put your rod tip up so you can lose them on low tension. Again, what I'm looking to do is just catch as many as I can as quick as I can. And then hopefully, you get a trophy or a unique at some point. You can usually get several trophies. I know sometimes the ones that I've played in, I think almost every time I've played in the sunny peak, I will get a unique. Only sometimes on the partly cloudy peaks. Also, again, this is one of those you can practice with your friends as well. But I want to say the scores can get up there pretty high. A lot of these guys have played in this a ton. So, but kind of one thing I'd keynote as well. I normally, if I don't get a bite within probably 30, 35 seconds, I would definitely cast to a different buoy. It should be fairly, most of your spots should be fairly active. If you get a spot that's kind of dead, just rotate. Again, I never know what to expect in some of these things, but I should. If you don't get a bite fairly quick, just kind of tease that like I did, and then again, just lift your rod tip up and reel. Now, don't sit there and just thump your rod because you will lose these on low tension. I did it several times. Again, every fish can count, so you kind of want to just keep it going. I do try to alternate buoys. Again, I don't claim to be a pro at this. A lot of these guys that you'll see at the top, these guys know exactly how many fish to get from each buoy, probably that sort of thing. Uh, Generally speaking, I've noticed I try not to get more than 3 from one spot. You might find a spot that's particularly hot. If so, just keep casting. Again, you can, on your bobber depth, 15 to probably 40 inches, somewhere in there. That would be my best guess. But I haven't struggled at a depth of 27. So again, all up to you guys. I am going to try something a little different this time. If it gets slow, I might drop my hook size down to 3.0. Again, I would say your hook size, you could probably go 2.0 all the way up to 6.0 if you really wanted, but I think 4 or 3 or 4 is probably ideal. And again, some of these things too, you're going to find that if you're getting a really slow bite rate, just either move markers or just try to tease that in a little bit. One thing that I've noted on this as well, you kind of need, once, all these lily pads over here, you should be able to get fish from. If it does get slow, go down the Infinity Tunnels, and that'll be my backup once this slows down. I try to get a couple trophies from over here and several commons before I even rotate. Again, you guys are going to have to adjust on your own. Putting a lot of this up so you can kind of just play along. It's just a video that you can refer back to just to get the base idea of what a lot of people are doing. Again, I just lift the rod tip up and reel as soon as you see something playing with it. Again, that takes practice. Kind of do that on your own time. In other words, don't get mad at me if you're trying to quick set and miss one. That's something you have to practice a little bit. Also, I've never really tried braid or anything, but I'm a guy that likes running fluoro, so it's kind of up to you if you want to run braid. I don't know if it will make that much of a difference. Since I'm running fluoro on both, I didn't put fluoro leader on top of fluoro, so I don't know why that would make any sense, but I did stick with fluoro. I like braid, but majority of the time, almost every setup that I have, um, whether it's a lure reel or not, I typically will put fluoro over the top of it or mono, just depending on the circumstances. Again, trying to keep track of what marker, that's the tough part in some of these things. Which marker did I cast that last? And sometimes if you just got those gut instincts, if you want to keep casting the same marker, so be it. I kind of like try to rotate. I normally don't do more than 2 and 3 in one spot unless I just have a weird feeling. So again, all those gut intuition instinct plays that you might make, just make those adjustments. As you can see what I did there, I slightly walked that bobber in or teased that bobber to get that bite. Otherwise, it was just kind of sitting there. So you can kind of do those things at your own risk. As long as you're not overly aggressive, I usually can, entice a bite, so to speak. That'll hold true on most of your float competitions as well, with the exception of a few. See, as you can see there, I was just lightly reeling that and then just kind of quick set it. Again, I don't know if putting a 5.0 or a 6.0 might get bigger ones. I have no idea, but for me, I like to try to have a steady bite. That's a lot more fun. So again, you guys can just do your own thing on that. But fish on here can be weird, but I will say just from playing in this, I think this is the fifth time now. I've played in this one several times, so I want to say that almost every time I've played in this, obviously the Sunny Peak's a lot better. So I don't know where. I'm gonna assume somebody that's gonna win this is probably gonna have 130 pounds or so, especially if any of these slayers that are in here. Cole Crotter, he's playing this a lot. Look at John. John's up there. Good job, John. Good old Bally. Again, as you can see, I just lightly reeled that in and entice a bite again. So, and that one again almost got off. So, if you notice, I'm rotating from spot to spot. What I'll do is if this dries up, then the backup spots where I showed you there at the infinity tunnels. Again, you can't really control your bite rate at times on these comps. They kind of seem to be wacky, but this is one I don't think that I can ever recall playing in to where I got dead laked or where I got a zero bite rate. I've pretty much every time I've played in this, I've got a decent bite rate. You will have slow periods, so kind of expect that towards the end. Again, kind of you notice what I'm doing here is I'm working from right to left, just assuming hopefully they respawn or who knows. I'm not a computer whisperer, but I would like to think if a number of fish spawn in or if they respawn, the commons respawn, maybe if I'm going right to left. That way I have some kind of pattern in my head, and maybe that's something for you guys to think about as well. But almost to a certainty, there's going to be a time over here unless I just have some kind of awesome bite rate or something. Generally speaking, what's happened to me every time that I've played in this whole spawn point over here just kind of goes dead, and I think that's when I'm probably going to move. Again, I could probably cast back out there, but I'm just going to keep rotating. I don't think it really matters where you're going to get a trophy or a uni. It's just going to be along here. So if you guys got marks too, obviously keep your marks. No sense of replacing every mark you have. I don't think it really matters. I just mark these spots because they seem to be hot for me. Again, I'd give it just a little bit of time, but if you don't get anything, I would say don't sit on a buoy more than probably 35 seconds, or just kind of have that rule of thumb somewhere in there. Try to tease it if you don't get anything. Again, I've been in this position several times where I've got a good run going, and I don't know if from there, it's kind of going to be up to you guys to adjust. Again, I'm learning all this stuff for just since February of this year. Again, this is one of those situations that look like I'm going to get blanked on this one. It is slowing down. I didn't get my uni, so I'm probably going to stay here another couple buoys, moving down from right to left again. If I don't get a bite fairly quick from these last three buoys, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in the Infinity Tunnels on a cloudy day. Again, I've noticed on here you won't get the unique as often as you will on a Sunny Peak, and that's a lot of the lakes, as you well know, depending on what you're going for, but the majority of the money fish or that sort of thing, whether you're at Weeping Willow or wherever, you're going to get better fishing on sunny days, so keep that in mind. I did get a bite. It might be a trophy. It might just be a big common. Nice trophy. Nope, just a 4-pounder. Again, this is a weird circumstance. I just pulled a trophy out here. I want to just see if the uni's sitting in there with him. If he's not, I'll just go right to the left. Again, a lot of these things are just myths. I don't know if you're in a 5.0, maybe you get a unique a little quicker. I doubt it, but maybe. Again, I'm just trying to be the guy in the middle with the on the fence, so to speak, on my hook size. So I think your 3 to 4 should be pretty solid for you. Also, some people might run shrimp. I did notice running shrimp. Uh, you'll pick up, even in this spot, you'll pick up largemouth bass a lot more. Now, you can pick up largemouth bass depending on where you're casting on this map, but I think the freshwater prawns will work a lot better for you guys. Again, I'm trying to walk that in if I don't get a bite. And I'll see. Going back to what I said, since I got that trophy there, I was hoping the uni would be there. Again, I'm not going to bank my whole comp on getting one uni because that could actually affect you as well. So it's nice when you can pick up a quick 8 pounds, but you don't want to leave 9 pounds behind in 3 commons. In other words, sitting on one spot, you're losing fish. So kind of keep that in mind. And, keeping the pace in these things is very difficult. As you can see, there comes a period when the spot over here is going to slow down. Um, I think I'm going to go with my gut. Knowing and playing in this before, that's why I can pass this along to you. It seems like about halfway through this thing, every time it will slow down, so that's when you want to come over here and then try your luck out over here. I did send the markers at the start of this, so feel free to add any of those marks. But you guys that's fished this like enough know that kind of off of both of these points to the left and right there, there's almost always butterfly. On occasion, you will pick up a largemouth bass over here. Again, I would not that shrimp doesn't work well or large minnows or something like that, but you trying not to catch largemouth bass. Name of the comp is fly like a butterfly, so that's what you're going for. Now, no guarantee that this spot's going to be active, but this is my second spot, so if it's not, I'll try this buoy over here. Again, let that other spot sit, and hopefully, I don't know if they respawn. I don't think the trophies will respawn in a 30-minute time, but I would like to say enough comments will to hopefully keep your net again. If you notice there, I just lifted up the rod tip, just real. Again, that takes a little bit of practice. So in other words, don't blame me if you guys are missing fish on that. Just something, just practice on some other fish until you have it down. Now, fishing in this earlier, I'd practiced with a couple of our friends here, Josh and Bally and Billy and Dee's Universe. We practiced just a little bit, so I did notice. I wouldn't sit over here and try to catch five from just this one spot. I'll try to catch two and then rotate over here to the left, see what I can pick up, and then I'll probably run back over here in a few minutes and start. We're doing an okay pace for a cloudy day. Again, I've had as low as, I want to say 75, 80 pounds in this, and as high as 115. But I really don't know what to expect from time to time. But that's just a general number range that you can expect in these things. And again, a lot of these guys, the big guys, I know I say the name a lot, but I'm sure you guys see Bam Bam Slams and a lot of these Cole Crotter. Some of these guys will enter late and just come in here and smack people around. But again, this is one of these ones that I think's at least entertaining and fun. Normally, you will get a decent bite rate. As you can see, the guy there at the top does have a uni. I'll try this spot here. And probably also what I could have did here right now, what I'll probably do after, if I don't get a bite right here, I might go down to the 3-0s. Maybe it's slowing down a little bit, so maybe that's when you downsize your hook. Again, you guys could feel free to adjust your depth. So I've stayed at 27 inches throughout to get the 47 pounds that I have currently. Again, sometimes you just got to make moves on the fly. Entirely up to you. I do think it's odd that this is so dead right here. With that being said, I'm going to switch. A good idea too. Save yourself time when you're switching. I just got 2 rods equipped. One with the 3-0, one with a 4-0. This is actually a Phoenix with a Spod, Griffin Spod 8000. I can only 3-click this one without breaking the drag, or breaking my line, so. Again, as you can see, this spot definitely is not very active, so I'm going to cast one more time out here. Again, I've wasted probably 2 minutes. Again, you guys adjust from there. But you'll notice that's, the hot spot over there will slow down. But I'm just trying to acquire another area to come to. Again, maybe you guys got a nice little hot spot here at the Infinity Tunnels. Then use that one once the main spot slows down. Again, I do get impatient a lot, so I will try to entice a bite. It does seem like this spot is not active, and it's also possible, that for whatever reason your game If you go like 7 minutes or something crazy, I wouldn't let it get to that point. Again, I'm streaming, so in other words, I think sometimes the game itself just breaks. I try not to rail on Fishing Planet too much, but it's almost like a timer goes off. So if that happens to you, maybe try closing your app. But I'm not going to because it'll cancel my stream out. So I'm just gonna keep fishing through. But though you will get these weird lulls um, where you won't catch anything, and then sometimes you'll be on fire like Josh. Get him, Josh. Well, I'd really like to see Josh or John win these. That'd be nice. Now again, guys, I gambled going over there to that other side. That this is usually good. So again, if you just do all these things on your own accord, work your way through. Josh did get a nice size Junie as well. That probably was his personal best too. Just kidding, Josh. I don't even know what my PB is on these things. Again, I think the make or break thing on this is when these spots over here go slow. Kind of, you got to make a move. Maybe you'd go up and down on your depth. Maybe you go down to a hook 3, maybe even a 2. Who knows? Again, I'm just trying to give you guys just a basic foundation. From there, I haven't figured out how to keep that steady bite all the way through. You'll see a little lull if you kind of look through your thing here. Everybody I think is going to go through a little bit of a slow spell, and then maybe somebody just gets a really good bite rate, or they know from one buoy to the next, and that's where the experience gap's going to come in on a lot of this stuff. Again, as you notice there, I've slowed down a little bit. I'm going to rotate to a 3-0. Again, I'll stick this up for a couple minutes with a 3-0. We'll see if anything changes. Again, this is for you guys. I know I don't come in there and expecting to win this thing. Again, I'm trying to put up one of these from each competition just to kind of give you guys a base of what to expect. And I'm wondering here if something weird. You see that bobber sitting sideways? You've probably cast it into the weeds, or something wanky's happened. So, oh, of course, there we go. And sometimes that will happen. So if you see that bobber sitting on the side, what is this bobber doing? Why is it doing that? Is that a shaw spot? I don't know if you guys are seeing this. I'm still gonna get a bite. That's weird. And again, if you guys are wondering why everybody puts a lot of these people, the top guys, they're putting griffin spots on these things just so they can reel their fish in faster. In other words, if you can gain 10, 12 seconds, probably every 2 fish or so between quick setting and why is my bobber doing that though? That's weird. But like there, I quick set that and I'm reeling it in fast, and that's what a lot of these top guys are going to be doing. And it's just something I encourage you guys to practice on. Anytime you're going for these total weight things using a float, you're going to want to do that. It seems a little unorthodox, but you just got to figure out how far you can click that up, because a unique will break you off if you have that set up too high. Like this might be a unique or a nice trophy here. I haven't missed on a gar with another keynote. I haven't missed on a gar with this actually probably is a unique maybe. Of course I get this on it's a really big trophy. Again, keep that rod tip down. Okay, we did get our unique. We're making our move. You can see that gave a run for its money on the Griffin spot. I will state, knowing that I only caught the one unique, but you did tell I did lose a little bit of time there on the Phoenix with the Griffin 8 as opposed to the Brutus with the Griffin 10,000. And I'm rooting for my guys there at the top, but like the GTF, you know, they're a great group of they play hard. So again, I don't knock any of these guys, but you know these veterans, the Lazia Liz there. I know the she runs or he or she runs with Bam, Bam, and then those guys are these guys are OGs to these comps. So don't be so shocked. And I'm not rooting against any of my friends, so don't be hating on me. But I can just tell you those are going to be some of the top tier guys you have to compete with in these things. So. In other words, Josh, get the reeling them in, bro. You probably hit that slow spell. Now, I don't know why it's doing that again. My line weight. And also, you did notice I did get the unique on a 3-0, so maybe on the cloudy day, 3-0s is the way to go. Who knows? Like I said, three or fours, you should be solid at. This definitely seems like a lower scoring round than I'm used to, so again, I've seen these things go up to 150, 160 sometimes if they go really, really good. In other words, if they're hard in the paint, these guys can get their scores well up in the triple digits. Oh, that's all right, Josh. It happens to everybody, bud. What I don't understand is this bobber's at 27 just like my other one, and it's acting weird. I don't know why that is. It's almost like it's stuck in the weeds. It's only 27. Maybe that's that spot. Let me see something. I guess I should pay attention since I'm in contention, huh? Let me try this one. This one's set at 27 too. I don't know if there's a difference between the two chubby bobbers. I mean, let's see if this one sits on its side or not. See, that one didn't sit on its side. That's odd. Don't know. That's very odd. You guys notice that the two chubby bobbers they should be identical, but the other one was sitting on its side. I don't know if it's the difference in the weight or whatever. But again, you guys tune into this. This is fly like a butterfly, swim like a bass here on Fishing Planet. I've just been putting these play along, so to speak. I'm not even going to call them a guide. They're just more of me showing you marks, showing you kind of how these comps go, to decide if you want to play in them or not, showing you what the scores are like, kind of what to do, and you guys. I think the cool thing about this is if you guys go back and look at some of these, you can just kind of follow along the same runs, whether I'm at the Amazon fishing for shark, Nile perch, wherever we're at. I can just kind of help you guys out as far as marks and just a general concept of each one of these comps. So again, I'm trying to do something a little unique with all these, so I hope you guys can appreciate that. And I kind of, again, I'm not knocking any of these guys that do well and they're always on the top, but it'd be kind of nice if to close the skill gap a little bit. And some of my friends and even the viewers that watch some of this, that they can come in and feel like they at least have somewhat of a chance to win. Even if they just pick two or three of the comps that they actually like, practice for them. And I think that probably will make all the difference in the world if you can just come in and kind of see how things go. But again, as you can see, these spots will slow down. Now there is another spot. I don't know if I showed the marker or not, but I'm gonna kind of try to keep grinding here. So just right here off these lily pads, you can pick up a peacock on occasion. Again, you guys, if you have some of your own marks, I did share a ton of marks at the start, but again, this might be a little bonus spot. You may be able to get a trophy or I've never got a uni right here, but on occasion it's active. If it's not, my apologies, but there is butterfly right here sometimes as well. If it's not active, it's not active. As you can see, you're going to have your hot and cold spells. The guys at the top, my guess is they, like the one that's at 102 there, my guess is maybe they have more spots. Again, it's the only thing that I could think of because they don't seem to slow down quite like we do. So maybe they have more of a rotation Maybe they know the exact count. In other words, they catch 2 from this buoy, 3 from that buoy, 1 from this buoy. They've played it so many times, and that's where kind of the experience gap, in my opinion, kind of comes into play on something, especially on these total weight ones. Again, as you can, my friend Gen X Josh, he's battling to come back. He had a really good hot streak. As you can see, I've went hot, cold, hot, cold. That will happen. And again, you're kind of going to want to stay at that first spawn point the most. But again, I feel like I'm fishing on dead water over there. I come over here, just thinking hopefully I can pick one up, but it's doing the same thing. You guys that might have watched this from the start. Again, just my theory was come over here. If it gets slow over there. Oh, you're welcome, Josh. No problem. That's why I'm doing this, man. That's why I started all this thing. You guys that knows me and on my friends list, it's just a video game, so I don't mind sharing my knowledge. I'm a high-ranked player that's really skilled at catching the fish and stuff. I'm just now learning my way around the comp, so I love sharing off my knowledge. I like people in general, so I don't mind helping anybody out. And sometimes I'll do really bad, and sometimes I do good. I try not to complain too much because I know Fishing Planet, they are a smaller company, but some things I definitely think that they could change. Number one, open up the payout list on the X series to at least the top 7 at a minimum, not top 3, because there's too many people that are. If you're not going to split up, the assassins, so to speak, or the OGs. In other words, a few of these guys can contend. Like Josh is doing good, but and like I said, this GTF person is doing amazing. But if Bam and GTF and Chow and all these guys are always winning the same things, it's kind of not fun for the rest of you guys. So. But if anything, this is, there's one collateral that I've had. And again, that's probably a good sign for me to go as this closes down here. I got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. So again, I've had 115 in this once, but it was on a sunny day. The peaks will be different. Your sunny day peak on this, it's a lot higher scoring. And I wouldn't be shocked if somebody else comes in behind this and puts up a little bit of a higher score than even at the top there. So. But nonetheless, you guys can see that it's the same bobber depth as my other one, but for whatever reason, I've still gotten a biter there on that. I don't even think that's bottoming out. Is it like wrapped around my... It's almost like it's wrapped around my... You guys seen that? What is it doing that for? Here. That's odd. I don't know why... I should be 27, 26, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. You guys notice that? That bobber sits sideways, but when I switch to my Brutus, same bobber, just different color, same bait. And again, we'll see what happens here. But again, as we close down this fly like a butterfly, swim like a bass, definitely a nice blueprint to help you guys get started. I gave you plenty of marks. I gave you the setups, general knowledge on how to quick set. As well as using the spot reels to reel these things in again. And some of these guys, they may have, their spots all set up where they're something else I've thought about. They might have spots that are a little closer and they're clipping their line. So like maybe they're clipping their line like that. That way it's saving them time because believe it or not, all these little seconds count. Like here's a perfect example. This fish is not going to count for me. Now if you were, up at that top spot, again, like I sit and grind all this in your head, but this fish right here will not count, and this will happen to you in comps too. So I could have ended up there at the 90-pound mark, but nonetheless, this is, I think this would be a successful one for you guys to try. Again, we ended up with 23 fish. We did even get a uni off of a 3.0, so I think a 3.0 or a 4.0 will work with you, but as you can see, we did fairly well. Again, more times than not, you'll notice in these things, these guys are going to come in. Again, I'm not knocking into these guys. Thanks, Yodler. I appreciate that, bro. I've been grinding, man. I've been grinding. Let me look at this real quick. But basically, guys, just on your setups, they're using these spod reels just to reel these in quick. Now, I did have X Series fluoro, but you notice I caught just off old standard fluoro here. The odd part was this chubby bobber shouldn't be any different than this chubby bobber. I don't think. It's just a different color. I don't know. Something was messed up there. But again, you guys feel free to use whatever rod you want. In other words, unless you're just free fishing and you want to have a good fight, these guys want to yank these things in fast. They want a quick bite. Again, tease your bobber, tease your bait a little bit to entice a bite. Number two thing is figure out your spot reels. Maybe you got a little setup that you like, but as long as you don't go too crazy with it, pay attention to your drag. Don't, in other words, don't blame me if you break your hook off. Kind of pay attention, before you go into these things. Have you a couple rods set up so you can switch out, but I definitely would encourage you to use freshwater prawn here on this. So that will conclude this one. I will be, more than likely, I'm going to stream this one as well. This one's not exciting, but I have to check this one off the list. I've had a good run in this one as well. It's going to be catch the biggest Zander, and I want to say it's 30 minutes or 45 minutes. It's 45 minutes. This one could be a snore fest, but every time I played it, I've got a uni and a small one. It's just another gap tournament. This one's it can be streaky as well, but no, I say that I'll probably go in there and not get a uni. But anyway, I'm going to put that up and kind of just show you how that plays out, give you marks like I always do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and again, I'm probably going to stream this one here in a couple hours here at 5 p.m. my time. That's 1:30 now, so I guess about 3.5 hours. So good luck fishing, guys, and I hope all these things I've been putting up help you. Take care.